In my opinion, on January 20th, 2021, the U.S. will finally return back to normal. So stick around and find out exactly what I'm talking about live. All of that and much, much more is coming right. Live from Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell so that way you won't miss a single thing when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. That's right. I am here to help as many of you as possible get the best possible grip on your life so that way you can all accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires. And it doesn't matter where you come from or who you are. I love each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you despite where you come from, whether you're on the left, the right, down the middle, whether you're, African American, Hispanic, Asian, Caucasian, whether you're male or female, whether you're gay or you're straight or you're lesbian or you're bi or you're gender non-conforming, non-binary, whoever you are, wherever you come from, I love each and every one of you equally. It doesn't matter where you come from. I'm here to help all of you because we are all people and we all choose to be who we want to be, right? But there are other people in this world that are very judgmental and they don't allow, other people to just live their own lives in the way those people want to live their lives because there are certain people in this world that think that things should be just one way. And that's what we're going to be discussing primarily here tonight as part of this topic. I'm not going to be on too terribly long, maybe half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. But if you have any questions, please get them in the chat. If you're on the YouTube side of things, you need to be a member to chat or a moderator. If you're not a member or a moderator, you can super chat as much as you want. Hit the $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat. You can send us messages as you want for as little as $1 per message. If you're on the Facebook side of things, once again, we are simulcasting live on Facebook again tonight. Please get your questions in the chat, and I would be happy to answer them while we're live on the air. And if you're watching this on the replay, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please, if you missed the live stream on Facebook or on YouTube, please get your questions below in the comments section of both Facebook and YouTube. And I'd be happy to respond to you and maybe even do a follow-up live stream or pre-recorded video to answer more questions. Because I got to tell you, folks, what I'm going to be discussing here today, I've wanted to discuss for the past couple of days, in spite of some recent events, which is what I'm trying to say. I just needed to kind of think things over and let it soak in so that way I don't overreact and I speak properly, professionally, and maturely to try to really share what I feel is going on, why it's happening, and, what the best, resolution is to these current issues we're having, especially here in the country where I live in, the U.S. If you're in a different country, I'm sure you have similar issues. But here's the thing. The U.S. is the strongest, most powerful nation in the world, at least for the current time, right? And other countries are looking to see what we're doing. So, hey, if you're watching from another country, listen in because this can and does affect you as well, in my opinion. In my opinion, of course. But before we get to that, I want to make sure that everything is rolling smoothly. Let me make sure that the notification has gone out. It looks like it has gone out. And let me just make sure the back end of YouTube is running smooth. Give me just a second, folks. The back end of YouTube looks great. And I just want to ensure that Facebook is rolling smoothly as well. It's always better to take a minute and check rather than not check, and then you find out at the end of the stream it didn't go through on one end. Give me a second.
As well, it's always better to take a minute and check.
Okay. It looks like we're rolling well on YouTube and Facebook. All right, folks. Let's get right to it here tonight. The title of this stream, this show, is, in my opinion, on January 20th, 2021, the U.S. will return to normal. One more time. In my opinion, on January 20th, 2021, the U.S. will return to normal. Now, when I say the U.S. will return to normal on January 20th, 2021, I'm not saying it will completely return to normal. I am saying that it will start heading in the right direction. Why? Because that's inauguration day for our new president-elect, Joe Biden. And the reason why I personally cannot wait for this day to come is because over the last several months since the election, since Donald Trump, our current president, lost the election, I have never seen such a reaction from any other professional, let alone, someone in our government system, the highest ranked government official, the president, behaving in the ways that Donald Trump has behaved. And I did a stream probably about 3 weeks ago. The last political stream I did here on my channel was about 3 weeks to a month ago. I figured, at some point, Donald Trump would run out of gas. He would realize, hey, I'm acting like a big baby. I've lost the election. It's time to move on. We have this pandemic where lots of people are dying. And I need to get things back on track and finish up my term and set things up so the new incoming president-elect Joe Biden, when he takes over, is going to have a smooth transition, right? But instead of Trump running out of gas and just realizing that he's being ridiculous and he's acting like a sore loser and a big baby, he continues his shenanigans. And it's gotten worse. And it keeps on getting worse. First things first, we have this pandemic where, thousands of people here in the U.S. and all over the world are dying. But, Trump's only responsible for the U.S., right? Thousands of people are dying. 100,000 plus are being infected daily, right? And earlier on in the year, President Trump made a big deal about Operation Warp Speed, which is to vaccinate as many people as possible to, rid of this virus. And that way we can get back to normal. People can start socializing again and businesses can open again and we can run things normally and it will stop, affecting the economy in the ways it's been affecting the economy. President Trump promised that, I believe was towards the end of December or by the end of the year, that Operation Warp Speed would vaccinate 20 million people. That didn't happen. And it's still not at that level to this day that I am running this live stream on January 5th, Tuesday, January 5th, 2021. As of today, there's been, the last time I checked, I think it was yesterday, there's been about 15 million vaccines or vaccinations distributed to hospitals. And about 5 million people have been vaccinated. So we haven't even distributed 20 million vaccinations to the hospitals to even come close to the number that Trump promised would be vaccinated by the end of the year, based on the promises he made in regards to Operation Warp Speed. So if you look at the numbers, only 25% of the people that Trump promised would be vaccinated by this point have been vaccinated. 5 million people, approximately 5 million people out of the 20 million that Trump promised would be vaccinated by this point have been vaccinated. And again, there have only been 15 million or so vaccinations or vaccines distributed to hospitals, right? So there haven't even been enough vaccines distributed to even reach that number, even if it was going to be reached by this point, as promised by our current president. So instead of working on that and getting it to where he promised, he decides to go golfing each and every day. And when I heard that, he was going golfing every day, and then the media would, sneak in and find him. Trump tries to hide what he does, right? But, because of freedom of the press, right? They're allowed to go and find him, and hey, they showed him going out there golfing. While we've got this serious issue here in this world where people are dying from this pandemic, and he says, okay, we've got this Operation Warp Speed, and we're going to vaccinate all these people by this date, and we've barely vaccinated 25% of the people that were promised by this point. At the same time, Trump is whining and complaining still about losing the election. He's still, putting it out there that, there's been widespread voter fraud, which there hasn't been. There has not been any widespread voter fraud, but Trump continues to basically, try to find a way to steal this election, like some other people are saying. And it's not going to happen. It's a waste of time. So what's the latest thing that Trump has done? Most of you heard about this story a few days ago. Most of you heard that there was a phone call made to Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. And what Trump didn't know was that Brad was recording Trump's conversation. If I was in Brad's shoes or anyone else's shoes that, has received a request to have a phone call with the president, I'd be recording it too. Why? Because of his erratic, unprofessional behavior that he's been not only portraying the entire time he's been in office, but especially more so since he lost re-election a couple months ago. So Brad recorded this and decided to leak it to media a few days ago. And it was front page news. It was everywhere. And I heard about it right when it was released. I listened to it a few times. And I could not believe what Trump was asking Georgia's Secretary of State to do. I need you to find me, 11,000 or close to 12,000 votes. All I need is 12,000 votes. I need you to find me those votes. Trump was talking to Brad. He even called him Brad by first name, right? It's like a business offer with a best friend, right? So Brad was referring to Trump as Mr. President, right? Being professional and courteous, right? And Trump was calling, Raffensperger Brad, like, buddy, hey, buddy, do me a favor, buddy. I'm the president. I'm asking you for a favor. I'm asking you to find me 12,000 votes so I can flip the state. And when I first heard this on CNN, and then I went back on YouTube and found the clips of the audio recording, and I had to hear it a couple more times. I really wanted to soak the whole thing in. I was like, wow. If we haven't already seen enough inappropriate behavior, immature behavior, unprofessional behavior, and illegal, or at the very least, unethical behavior from President Trump, this just tops everything. This just tops everything. Like his name, it trumps everything, right? It trumps everything, right? Now, I started thinking more about this, and it really has opened up my eyes and ears. As a slight left liberal, most of you that have been following me for a while know that I'm a slight left liberal. I'm not a liberal extremist, but I'm not on the right at all. But just because I'm slightly on the left doesn't mean I don't like some views on the right and some views on the left. I'm more down the middle. I just identify slightly left. I love everybody. I like what makes sense. If someone on the right has an idea that makes sense, I will support it. If someone on the left has a terrible idea, just because I'm on the left doesn't mean I'm going to support it automatically. If I don't like that idea on the left, I'm not going to support it. I'm going to support what makes sense. I'm not going to support something just because I'm more so a part of that political party. And I started thinking, what really got Trump in the office? What really started this whole movement? Because I really haven't cared to pay much attention to the extreme aspects of politics, but now they've become more important than ever, and I've started looking into it. And it all stems to this new radical group called the alt-right. Now, I've heard about the alt-right, and I've heard about conservative extremists, but I never really cared to look more deeply into it until it started to really affect myself and other people in this country, and now even affect, the new president coming in, trying to take care of things in a time where the leadership in our country is more important than ever. Give me a second here. Let me make sure that everything is clear on both ends. Okay. I know there aren't a lot of people watching. And quite frankly, here's the thing. Whoever wants to watch this wants to watch this. Whoever wants to, hear what I have to say, you can hear what I have to say. Take it for whatever it's worth. I'm entitled to my opinion. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to share it. And it's up to you what you want to believe, who you want to follow, who you want to support, right? So anyway, I started looking more into the alt-right. I knew what the alt-right was. I just didn't know as much about the alt-right as I learned recently, because now I have a reason to more so look into the alt-right. Before I didn't really care. It didn't really affect me, but now it's really affecting me. So I found this article. I'm not going to put it on the screen. I'm just going to read. The title of it is called Alt-Right, a Primer on the New White Supremacy. I'm a white man. I'm a Caucasian man. I'm Greek, European, but I'm considered Caucasian. But just because I'm white and Caucasian doesn't make me feel like I'm better than anyone else just because I'm Caucasian. I love everybody. My best friend is African American. He's a great guy. I've got Hispanic friends, Asian friends. I got friends from all cultures. I've got male and female friends. I've got gay friends, straight friends, lesbian friends, bisexual friends, transgendered friends, non-binary friends, gender non-conforming, non-binary. I got friends that come from everywhere. And I don't feel just because I'm Caucasian, it makes me any better than anyone. I love people. I love people in general. And every person on the face of this planet brings something unique into this world, regardless of where they come from. And maybe where they come from brings something even more unique. I'm open to that. I love that. I love diversity. if we live in a world where, one culture rules all and is supreme to all, how much fun would that be? How boring would that be? Put aside the extreme discrimination and hatred towards it. How interesting would that be? The world would be a boring place. Having different cultures makes things interesting, folks. So this is what this article says. It says the alt-right. Alt-right, short for alternative right, is a repackaging of white supremacy by extremists seeking to mainstream their ideology. Good luck. That's all I've got to say. Good luck. You made some noise in the past 4 years because your president pretty much has been alt-right. We'll get to that in a second. But good luck. And that's why your president didn't get reelected. Because of his alt-right, way of doing things. The term emerged in 2010 and started to gain widespread traction in 2016. Yeah, that's because President Trump, who, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, is not really a conservative, came into office running as a conservative to basically try to gain control and get elected by brainwashing people on the alt-right that are easy to manipulate. Why? Because, like I said in the past, no disrespect, a lot of the people on the alt-right, they're lower class people, they're uneducated people, they come from broken households. Not trying to be rude or critical, I'm stating the facts. These are people that are easy to manipulate. And there are so many of these people in this country. Trump realized that the only way I'm going to get elected is by hitting this group, coming out and saying I'm conservative, and basically conforming to their alt-right views. It's my opinion. People who identify with the alt-right regard mainstream or traditional conservatives as weak and impotent, largely because they do not adequately support white radical interests or are not adequately racist or anti-Semitic. It's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous to me how these people will judge you and treat you just because you want to be a good person, just because you want to be fair and equal to everybody, despite their race, their age, their national origin, their sexual orientation. You could be the nicest person in the world, and if you don't agree with these, alt-right people, with the way they think about other people outside of the Caucasian race, they will attack you, criticize you, and make your life miserable. And I've dealt with so many of them out here on YouTube. The last 4 years on YouTube, I've talked about it before, I'll say it again. The last 4 years on YouTube has opened up my eyes and ears to this alt-right group. I didn't even realize I was being hammered by an alt-right group. I didn't really even know what it was at the time. I knew about conservatives, but I had heard about alt-right, but I didn't even care to look into it. I couldn't identify what it was. But now seeing what's happened towards the end of 2020, now into 2021, and seeing what Trump has done, it is absolutely crucial. I'm seeing it clear as night and day. Some alt-right adherents prefer other labels such as the new right and the dissident right. You can call it whatever you want to call it. It's ridiculous. And it's not real. And you folks calling yourselves, in my opinion, you folks calling yourselves the alt-right, in my opinion, you're not conservatives. You're not patriots. A lot of you go out there from the alt-right and you say, patriots, we got to stick together. You're not a patriot if you're in the alt-right, in my opinion. That's not how conservatives behave. The funny thing is with conservatives, I have a lot of conservative friends here in California, okay, where I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. Even though we're a predominantly blue state, there are a lot of conservatives here as well. And I'm good friends with them. You know why? Because we can agree to disagree and still be friends at the end of the day, and we don't attack each other based on our views. And a real conservative is not going to attack other people. The word conservative means I'm a conservative person. Maybe I keep more to myself. I may have some views, but I'm not going to speak out or overly speak out or attack other people. So what part of these people on the alt-right saying that they're conservative is true when they don't act like conservatives? They don't. They don't. But you call yourselves alt-right and you call yourselves conservatives, which you're not liberal or conservative. You're like out on your own. You're out, you're way the hell out there. Like in the planet Venus, on the planet Venus, right? You're way out there in Venus, right? I'm out here on Earth. So being on the alt-right to me does not make you conservative. But that's what these people are claiming. They're claiming that they are conservatives, just a new wave of conservatives, right? There's nothing conservative about how these people speak out, lash out at people, and attack people solely on the fact that they disagree with their views. And because of the fact that most people nowadays outside of the alt-right are diverse and love everybody equally and aren't discriminatory, that you get attacked for that. The alt-right label explicitly avoids racial or racist language and instead brings to mind rebellion or anti-establishment thinking concepts that help attract young new followers. That's not true. Some of them avoid that. Many of them are very racist. And they don't avoid racial words or racist language. I've heard many of them out here on YouTube attack other people. I've been attacked for being a liberal, and I'm white. I'm being attacked by other white people for being a liberal, and I'm white, right? I've seen a lot of these people attack African Americans just for being African American. I've seen other people from the alt-right that create content out here attack African American welfare queens just because they're African American. And being a welfare queen or being on welfare has nothing to do with being African American. Are there African American welfare queens? Yes, but are there Caucasian welfare queens? Hispanic welfare queens? The people are on welfare, within all races. But the alt-right will attack specific races just because they want to put out there that, hey, we're Caucasian, this is our country, you're stepping into our grounds here and you're trying to take over our country. No, they're not. They're helping enrich our country. You folks are helping destroy our country. So that's what the alt-right is. That's what the alt-right is. Now I want to talk about one more thing before I go off the air here. Many of you people on the alt-right or the right that are Trump supporters are going to support Trump no matter what he does. I mean, Trump could go and blow up half the country and you'd still support him. That's just a figure of speech, okay? I mean, no matter what he does, good, bad, or indifferent, right or wrong, you're going to support him. Why? Because you folks feel like you have no leg to stand on without having a leader like him in office. He is an alt-right leader. He's not a conservative. And I can tell you right now, for probably as long as I'm alive, or if ever again, there will probably never, ever be another alt-right president voted into office. I don't think the people of our country will allow that. I think the people of our country here in the U.S. learned a lot about what it's like to have an alt-right president in office, claiming to be conservative when he's really not. Pretty sad. That's why he didn't get reelected. But here's what a lot of you folks on the alt-right are going to say. That phone call by Brad Raffensperger, the Georgia Secretary of State, that had his administration and Trump on a conference call, he illegally recorded the president without his knowledge. That's what you folks on the alt-right, or on the right maybe, if you're still on the right and not even a part of the alt-right, and you're still on the right, you still support Trump, you're gonna say that call was illegally recorded and it cannot be used against Trump in a court of law. Here's the thing. Maybe you're right about that. Maybe you're right about that. Maybe that call was recorded illegally. And whether it can or can't be used in a court of law to go after Trump for what he did, to try to skew the election, don't you folks, how can you folks sit there and listen to what your, so to speak, leader asked the Secretary of State of Georgia to do? He asked Brad to find 11, 12,000 votes. He said, you need to find them. One way or, in other words, he's trying to tell him, one way or another, you need to do this for me. I'm the president. Brad, I need you to find me 12,000 votes. I couldn't believe my ears. I couldn't believe my ears. Heck, it's gotten to the point of where people in the GOP, Republicans, are beginning to not support Trump anymore. Why? They're realizing the same things that I'm realizing. He's not really a Republican. He's an alt-right extremist that only cares about what's best for him and no one else. I have to ask you folks that support Trump, how can you support him? Despite how this call was brought to surface, whether it was legal or illegal is not the point in my eyes. The point is that it exposes what Trump's been trying to do. How can you support a president that's trying to force states to flip the election illegally? How can you support that? And how does that make you patriots? I hear many of you out there say, patriots, we got to stick together. We got to support President Trump no matter what. How can you support this? Here's the thing. Yes, I voted for Joe Biden, but if Joe Biden gets into office and starts doing anything remotely close to what Trump's been doing, I'll be saying the same things about Biden. It has nothing to do with me being slightly on the left. It has to do with the actions and behavior of the current commander-in-chief. Hey, Lewis, how you doing, man? Good evening, Coach Eli, says Lewis Fuller on the YouTube side. I just gave you a like. Thank you, Lewis. I just shared you out. Thank you, bro. We're not going to be on that much longer. Lewis says, you're an amazing YouTuber. Why do you say that, Lewis? Be honest with me. Why do you think I'm an amazing YouTuber? And if I'm an amazing YouTuber, then why am I not getting a lot of traction? Is it because people don't want to hear the truth? They would rather just, they would just rather be consumed with lies? They want to live a lie because it makes them feel better about their pathetic, miserable selves? I am doing great today, says Lewis Fuller. A lot of these people on the alt-right are complaining that they've been getting shut down all over social media, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. You deserve to get shut down because you folks make absolutely no sense. Like you've got no valid argument to bring to the table. All you folks do is you come out here and express your misery to the world because you're miserable within yourselves. Now, I say this with a lot of love, no disrespect, but it's the truth. A lot of you are lower class people that are uneducated, that are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, and rather than doing something to make something out of yourselves, you complain that you haven't had the same opportunities that other people have had, right? And because you're at such a low point in your life, or you're a person that isn't perceived to be doing anything or making something out of yourself, people don't recognize you, right? But now you get Trump in office that makes you feel important when he really doesn't care about you. And because he can make you feel that way because he needs your votes to stay in office or get into office, right? That's what Trump did. Trump used all of these lower class people. He took advantage of them. He took advantage of them being uneducated and uninformed and made them feel like he was going to be the president to push forward this alt-right agenda. Probably sound, I don't like listening to the truth because it hurts. Well, no one wants to hear the truth because it hurts, bro. But listen, dude, what do you respect more, Lewis? Do you respect the truth? Or do you want a bunch of smoke blown up your you-know-what, man? I'm just curious to know. Again, a lot of these people on the alt-right are being removed because they're basically a distraction. They're basically static to the internet. They're static to the mainstream media. They're static everywhere. Like, seriously, I'm tired of it. I've dealt with these people coming at me for the last 4 years out here on YouTube. And has YouTube shut down a bunch of them? Sure, they have. But there are still some remaining. And some of them, the ones that are remaining, are figuring out ways on how to push the boundaries to the maximum allowable limit without getting shut down. But they're still finding ways to get their message out there, their inappropriate messages out there. And they're still polluting the airwaves, in my opinion. They're polluting platforms like YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and other websites and stuff like that. Another one reason, says Lewis, why you are a great YouTuber is because you give out great information, the truth. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate it, bro. I really do. The truth of the matter is, Lewis, is that most people don't want to hear the truth. That's why I don't get a lot of views. I don't get a lot of views because they don't want to hear the truth. These people are going to come out and say, the people on the alt-right that don't like me are going to come out and say, you don't get a lot of views because you suck and you don't know what you're talking about. No, that's not the reason. The reason is because you folks don't want to hear the truth. That's the bottom line. The truth hurts. See, I could change my format and become more alt-right and do it in a way where I wouldn't get shut down and get tons of traction, right? But then would I be truthful and real to myself? No, I would not. I cannot sit here and put on an act and pretend to be something just because it's going to get me more traction. Donald Trump, the reason why I'm going to end up with this. The reason why Donald Trump is doing what he's doing, he knows he's lost. He knows there's no way he's going to win this. He's doing what a typical alt-right conservative does when they can't win. They start to whine like a little baby and they start to do things that are crazy because it gets all eyes on them. I learned this being out here on YouTube with a similar group of people from the alt-right. A lot of these people would do crazy things. A lot of the people that I used to associate with before I even knew how terrible they were, anytime I would have a private conversation with them offline to try to work out a difference, they would be recording me. I was being recorded without my knowledge. Next thing you know, the person recording me that I had a private conversation with would put out our private conversation on their YouTube channel. then I would flag it on YouTube for privacy, and YouTube says this is not a privacy issue. Well, yeah, it's not a privacy issue, YouTube, for someone to record you without your knowledge on a private conversation and then put it on their YouTube channel and monetize it. Come on, let's get real here. A lot of these people out here that I've been associated with have done the same things that Donald Trump is now doing. So that's how I've learned to identify this alt-right behavior. And that's why I've always taken the side of YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter and other social media sites that are shutting down these people. They need to be shut down. They are toxic people, and they need a lot of help. They need a lot of help. No disrespect. They need a lot of mental and emotional help from professionals, because this has been hurting our society, and good people like me have had to deal with the repercussions of this. And if you think this only affects people on the alt-right, it affects everyone, including people on the left and including the regular, normal conservatives. This has to stop. A lot of these people, like I said earlier, complain that we're being shut down for conservative speak. No, you're not, because you're not real conservatives. You're not. You're not real conservatives, and you're not patriots. You're not. Get over it. I look forward to January 20th, 2021, when Joe Biden takes over office. You're going to start seeing some things, folks, which is what I'm trying to say. Sorry for losing my verbiage. That are going to head back in the right direction. And even to you people on the alt-right, the far right, the right in general, or on the left, to everyone out there, you're going to see a president that's going to do whatever it takes to make each and every American's life better, not just the liberals. He's going to care about each and every one of you that have been attacking him because you wish Trump would have still been in office. I will tell you this, folks. This is just my opinion. This is just my opinion. That's all it is an opinion. Thank God, in my opinion, that anyone besides Donald Trump is going to be running this country for the next 4 years. Quite frankly, I wouldn't care if any other Republican, past or present, would have beat out Joe Biden to get into office over Trump. I'm saying it in that way because, quite frankly, I don't care who's in office. I don't care if you're on the left or right, if you're in office. I care about if you're the best person for the job. And in this situation with Trump, I'd rather have any other liberal or conservative be in office over 4 more years of him destroying this country. Destroying this country. I never thought this would affect me. I never got this involved with politics. I never wanted to. I never wanted to even talk about politics, but I've never, ever, ever seen anything like what's happened in the past 4 years. Not only to me, but many others. And lately I've had to talk about it. I've wanted to talk about it. Wanted to talk about it because the truth needs to get out there. There's so many people out there claiming that they know the truth and they have the truth. No. The truth of the matter is this. I'm going to wrap up by saying this. Each and every one of you is special in your own unique way. Whether you're on the left, whether you're on the right, whether you're down the middle, whether you're libertarian, whether you're independent, whether you're male, whether you're female, whether you're gay, straight, lesbian, bi, trans, whether you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever. You're all special and unique. You're all equal. We are all equal people. Now, are some of us further ahead in life? Have some of us accomplished more? Sure. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't treat anyone differently just because of the color of their skin or their race, or because they're a man instead of a woman or a woman instead of a man. What is wrong with you people? I don't get it. What is wrong with you? Are you that hurt and insecure? Are you that angry at your life that you have to lash out about stupid things like this? What part of the way you're living your life and attacking other people makes sense? Just to make yourself feel better? Are you that miserable? Amen, says Lewis Fuller. Are you that miserable within yourselves? Are you? Like I've been mentioning all along, I'll mention it again before I get on out of here tonight. In 2021 and beyond, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this world a better place. I've learned a lot more now, and I know how to go toe-to-toe with any of these people. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If any one of you out there from the alt-right, the far right, or anyone, left, right, wherever, if you want to go toe-to-toe with me and have a civil conversation, at least try to have one, because I'll be civil. I don't know about you. You might get triggered. You might not be able to handle the truth coming from me. But if you want to go toe-to-toe, one-on-one, your channel, my channel, whatever platform, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever, you want to go one-on-one and talk, reach out to me. Let's make it happen. Go below the description. Coach Eli at coach.eliasmelas.com. Darth Rosie Wren's in the house. Hello, we're about to get out of here. You may want to watch the replay. So thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. And we'll get together tomorrow. I'll get in touch with you, Rosie, and your friend, and we will discuss that possible show. I know you ladies have been getting trolled by some dude. And let me tell you something. Trolls don't want to mess with me anymore. I'm very strong. I know the game, and I'm going to help as many people as possible from having to deal with these crazy lunatics out here. Many of them being from the alt-right, in my opinion. They're doing more harm to people than helping people. So, Rosie, I will help you. And anyone else. I will help anyone that's dealing with crazy people, immature, insecure, grown people that come out here on the internet to spew their hate and project their insecurities onto you just because they're unhappy within themselves. They don't love themselves. That's the bottom line. It's the truth. It's the bottom line. It's the truth. And another interesting thing, I'll say this, I may do another show over the next couple of days to share another interaction with a woman I just had that was rather interesting. This world's become very interesting with the way people communicate, with the way people put themselves out on online dating sites to find true love and happiness. I got another doozy of a story. I've got a lot of great content coming, folks. So please subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications if you're on the YouTube side. If you're on Facebook, you can come over to YouTube as well. Or, if you are on YouTube and you want to come over to Facebook, my Facebook is Elias Dimitri Melas. Look me up, Elias space Dimitri space Melas. If I know who you are, you can send me a friend request. I'll accept it. If I don't know you, I will not accept any friend requests from people I don't know. You can follow me and at least get the notifications when I go live on Facebook as well. All right. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Hope it makes sense. Please comment in the comment section on the replay of the YouTube side of things and the Facebook side of things. I didn't get any comments on Facebook tonight. That's okay. Some days are better than others. Be good to each other, folks, and I'll see you next time. Have a great night, everyone. Take care. Bye. Bye.